Hey there, Amanda here. Welcome to this practice. This practice is for your root chakra, your base chakra, which is right at the base of your spine. No need to know where it is at the moment. It can really help to support the structure of the pelvis as well as the length of the spinal column because it emanates from that Muladhara chakra. So we're going to use a chair for this practice. And what we'll do is we will meet there to Alrighty, so here we are. We are in Viparita Karani, or legs up the chair pose. Any old chair will do. I often, when I'm not in the studio, I'll use my lounge chair. So just put your lower legs up on the chair and then take a moment to bring your hands onto your abdomen and close your eyes and sense into the two sides of your spine, the two sides of your pelvis. So they might feel a little asymmetrical at the moment. Let's just take a few moments to breathe into the belly, breathing in through both nostrils and exhaling out of the mouth. 2 more breaths just like that, breathing in and breathing out. And 1 more breath just like that, letting your back body descend down into ground, down into support. Noticing the pelvis, the length of the legs, the 2 sides of your back, even up into the back of your head and the backs of your shoulder blades touching on the ground. And then when you're ready, we're going to open our eyes and we're going to do a really simple movement. So all it is we're going to inhale and lift and lengthen and flex the toes of the right foot back toward the nose. And then we're going to exhale the lower leg back down, and then we're going to alternate. So we're going to inhale left leg, flex the toes, exhale and lower, shimmy the hips a little side to side, and then inhale right foot up, right lower leg up, exhale. And then 1 more on the left side. So at the moment we're creating a bit of muscular effort in the legs. And then as we exhale, we're relaxing that muscular effort. So we're kind of letting our body know what it's like to turn on muscles and then turn off muscles. So you could stay in the legs up the chair pose for as long as you like, but for the sake of this practice and the timing of this practice, what I'm going to do is slide my legs back and I'm just gently going to push the chair off the mat. And then I'm going to shimmy my way up so that I've got some space, and I'm going to let my legs go long. So in terms of lower back and pelvis, if this position is not feeling comfortable for you, maybe create a soft bend in the knees or a little towel underneath the knees. And then begin to squish your legs in toward one another and feel into those frontal hip points. Notice if one feels a little higher or maybe a little further away from you. And then take a moment to hike your right hip up a little and feel it with your hands. So you're squeezing up, maybe the glute is a little squeezed, the right leg's a little shorter, and then try it on the left. Push your right leg away and scunch that left femur head up into the left hip socket. And try that a little side to side. So it's like we're walking, but we're staying in place. We're hiking one hip and then the other hip, and we're kind of circling around that sacral region, the region of the sacrum. Good. And then just doing that a couple times, and again, we've turned the muscles on and now we're turning them off. We're letting the body relax. No need to keep those muscles turned on all the time. So the Muladhara chakra is at the base of the spine, and it governs the legs and the lower part of the body. The Muladhara chakra is all about sensing into safety. It's sensing into connection to our tribe. It's sensing into the earth. So let's ground this lower part of the body now. You can take your hands away, zip up the legs again, and then begin to angle your right knee out and slide the outside edge of your right foot up and out to the side, and then ground the right foot on the ground, and then swing the right knee across towards the left leg, and then exhale, slide that right foot away. That's it. And feel it through that right hip. Let's try it a couple more times. So sliding, inhaling, rolling onto the sole of the right foot, and then exhaling, right knee over to the left and sliding that left leg, that right leg long. One more time, inhaling. And exhaling. And let the body go. So again, we soften, we release, we let go, noticing a difference between right and left. Let's swing our attention over to the left side of the body, zip the legs up, and slide left knee out to the left. As you inhale, grounding the left sole of the foot, and then exhaling, knee over to the right and slide the foot away, and keep going, inhaling, rolling the head of the femur bone through the hip socket, the left hip socket, and then exhaling it away. And then one more time, inhaling up and out, into center and across, exhaling and pushing that left leg long, and then settling in, because everything can turn off now, creating some space, maybe a sense of alignment in the area of the femur heads, in the area of the hips, in the area of the pelvis. So from here, we're going to slide our feet up and we're going to ground them. Feet are about hip distance apart here. As we inhale, we're coming onto the tip of the tail. We're creating a little tunnel in the lower back. And then we're exhaling and we're pressing our lower back down into ground, and we're going to rock. So the rock doesn't have to be too big. So inhale, create a little tunnel, and then exhale, pull navel to spine and press the tunnel flat. One more time, inhaling and rocking onto the tip of the tail, exhaling and pressing the lower back nice and flat. And then gently inhale and come to neutral, letting go of any gripping through the feet, the lower back, and then bring one knee into the chest and then the other. And give that little pulse. So a little pulse here is so nourishing. We're pulsing against the earth. This is one of my go-tos for any twinges in my lower back. I love it. And then from here, once you've pulsed enough, take one foot and then the other down, but take your feet a bit wider. So about as wide as your mat, and open your arms up in a soft T. Inhale here And then exhale, take your knees in one direction, and if you feel to, turn your head in the opposite direction. So now we're kind of rocking those femur heads side to side, inhaling, bringing everything up to center, and then exhaling, knees in the opposite direction to the head. And continue. Inhaling, using a little bit of that core strength to bring the knees up. Exhaling, letting them release out to the side, moving into the twist. So something very magical happens. Keep going. Inhale to center and then exhale to the side. Something beautiful and magical, beautiful and medicinal happens when we roll the head of the femur bone around in those hip sockets. A nectar, a nourishing medicinal nectar is released into the entire body. And not only that, we are increasing circulation, lymph, blood, water through the whole of the pelvic region. So let's do one more of these each way. And if you wanted to pick one practice out of all of these, you could do that as well. Inhaling and bringing the knees up to center. And then before we brought the knees fairly central in towards the chest, keep them out to the sides this time so your knees are headed towards your armpits. And again, do that little rock, little pulse. Yeah, it's more of a pulse than a rock. And my body just finds it really, really nourishing, especially when I take a little bit of extra time to do it. It's great. So when you're ready, come to stillness and then ground your feet one at a time and then roll to one side. It doesn't matter which side you roll to, and hopefully I'm not touching the microphone. And then from here, use your top hand to press up and come into a tabletop position. So the heels of the hands are right under the shoulders, the knees are under the hips, your toes are pointed back behind you. And we're going to inhale here and then exhale and start to glide the hips back and down. That's all we're doing. We're not doing any curling or rolling. We're going to inhale, glide up, and then exhale and pull the navel to spine a little and think of elongating through the lower part of your back. Coming down nearly into a child, and then inhale one more time and exhale, gliding back and down, feeling your way through your lower back. Great. And then inhale, come forward, turn your toes under, walk your spider fingers back. Come on to the soles of your feet. Uttanasana, standing forward fold. And then inhale, roll up through your spinal column. Articulating through the spinal column. And for a moment standing, nice and tall, nice and tall. And I'm going to turn and face you now. And we've got lots of variations here. So we're going to practice tree pose to press the head of the femur bone up into the hip socket. So we can do lots of variations. So let's start with grounding. I'm going to mirror you. So we'll ground through our right foot and we're going to take our left heel in towards the right inner ankle. This is the first position. If you'd like to stay here, if you'd like to lift the foot up a little bit higher onto the lower leg, feel free to do that. And then if you'd like to lift your left foot up even higher, maybe placing your hands into Anjali Mudra, maybe opening the branches of your arms, your hands and your fingers, finding your gaze point, your focal point, and then exhale and float your hands down, releasing, and kind of feel into that right hip. Feel into the movement. You could even give that right hip a little rub. And then try it with the left. So left foot, find your gaze point, feel into your position. So here, do you want to come into the lower tree? The right heel leaning on the left inner ankle, lock up a bit higher maybe. And maybe even higher still. And then open your branches, broad and wide. Feel your breath here. Pressing the head of that left femur bone into the left side of the pelvis, and then slowly float the arms down, releasing, and then maybe giving that left hip a nice rub. And then to finish off with standing in Tadasana, or maybe a little wider in Wuji, and you could even take your hands onto your lower abdomen. Soften your knees. So soften your knees here, tuck your tail. Let your lower back be nice and flat. Open and broaden through your chest. And smile. Smile through your face, smile through your hips, and smile through your heart. As you take a deep breath in through both of your nostrils and exhale out of your mouth. Sensing the right side of your body and the left side of your body aligned, regenerated, nourished, and grounded. If you'd like to, you can lay down in Shavasana for a few moments, maybe longer. Shavasana's my favorite. But if you're ready to conclude your practice, thank you for practicing with me today. I wish you a very nice day or night wherever you are. Thank you. Namaste.